Bill.
No. Yes.
So I got to, oh gosh, I'm back at my text stuff. And for example, you said to click on messages or
Yeah, you
edit.
messages and then edit.
Oh, okay. And then what?
When you tap on messages and edit, one of the things that comes down says select a message,
Yeah.
edit pins, edit name, or show recently deleted.
How recent?
And I was reading an article last night about fathers and sons and memories of this was an Irishman, right? Came flooding back of the time I took my son for his first drink. Off we went to the local bar, which was only 2 blocks from the house. I got him a Guinness stout. He didn't like it, so I drank it. Then I got him an old style. He didn't like it either, so I drank it. It was the same with the Coors and the Bud. By the time I got to the Irish whiskey, I could hardly push the stroller back home.
Oh, shit.
Oh, man.
All right. Tip of the day. Tip of the day. I don't think I covered this with you before, and it is about Safari. I'm going to share my screen. If I open up Safari and I want to save a picture that I've received or that I'm looking at in Safari. So if I go to Safari here, and I'll go to Google and I'll type in maple tree. Yeah, do it in the right keyboard, Bill. And then I'll scroll over here. Oh, there's a beautiful big old red maple. And if I put my finger on that picture and hold it, it comes down with some choices. So I touched and held, press and hold, and here it says save the photo. And it went to my photo library. So everybody give that a chance. Open Safari, give that a try. Open Safari, type in maple tree, find a picture. I just chose them from the ones that show up on the left there. You could have scrolled down to other pictures and open one of those. Okay. And again, press and hold the picture and then save the photo. Now the other way, go ahead and try it.
What did you start with after you opened up Safari?
Oh, I
Oh.
typed on the top line, the address bar, and we're going to get to that in a minute. I typed in maple tree.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Now, something else you might want to do.
Just make a
Instead of,
comment about
say
what I
again?
just did.
Said do it again?
Yeah, no, I typed in maple tree on my Safari. It pulled it up. However, all of the pictures have prices under them.
What? That was the advertisers. Here, let me go back here. Right,
On my phone, but I
Maple
don't think it
tree.
matters.
say again.
I
On
said
your
I'm on
phone?
my iPhone, but I don't think it matters.
I'll try it on my iPhone just to give a demo of that.
Yes, please.
Again, I tap. Safari. Then the address bar is at the bottom, so I'm going to tap there. And I want to type in, come on. Maple tree. Okay, and I get all these prices you're talking about, but if I scroll down further, I get other pictures. And let's say I went to Wikipedia. I scroll down to where it says Wikipedia. I open that, and then I scroll down, and sure, there'll be a maple tree here somewhere. There's some leaves. So I press and hold the leaves, and there it says save to photos. The trick here is press and hold once you get to the picture you want to save. Now there's another technique you can use. Let's assume I had this picture and I was trying to explain to somebody in an email, or I was writing a note and I wanted to include this picture in my note. Again, I would find the picture, I would press and hold, and instead of save the photo, I would click copy or tap on copy. And once you've done that, the picture is on your magical mystical clipboard. And what I mean by that is it's saved in there, and all I need to do is paste it somewhere. So if I go to, we were talking about messages. I don't know if I can do it messages, but we'll give it a try. Go to messages, I start a new message. And I'm going to send it to
Your wife.
I was going to try to send it to Jim, but what's your email, Jim?
JMMCENTYRE@Comcast.
JMM. There it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
And you see how I pressed the word iMessages down there and it said paste. So I paste. And
Oh,
now I've got that picture in my message and I can send it to Jim. Isn't that a beautiful picture of Jim?
yes, I just got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the two things in the tip of the day are how to get a picture that you see on when you're perusing the internet, how to get that picture either saved in your photo library or you want to cut and paste it. Okay.
Bill, can I ask you something?
Yes, go ahead.
I went on the telephone and said Safari cannot open the page because the server cannot be found. And I tried to get it clean again, the same thing again.
Is it on the internet? Are you on the internet with your device?
Well,
Are you talking about Bear Bell? Are you
Yes,
talking
I am.
about? Are you talking about up here? Are you on your iPhone or iPad?
iPhone.
If you're looking up there, do you have the little fan?
Yes.
What website did you try to go to?
Well, to the maple tree. Again,
Yes,
Safari cannot open the page because the server cannot be found.
When the server cannot be found, it usually means your internet is not working,
Uh-huh.
But how would he
Wait.
know?
which it must be working because you're talking to me right now.
Yes. I went into the internet. Yes, it is on. It has a lock and it has a fan and an eye.
It
you
has
could-
the bars, it has the bars up here, the top and the fan.
The bars.
You
No
you see
way.
what I'm pointing at?
Oh. No, it says settings, Wi-Fi and edit.
I don't know where you're looking. I'm looking at the top of your.
Oh, yes. Yeah,
phone
yeah.
screen.
I went back and into settings. It has the bars, the fan, and the
No.
the back.
No, I'm saying at the top of your screen,
Yes,
there's the time on the left,
yes,
and then there's bars and a little fan there at the top.
yes,
Are they both there?
yes. And but the battery use is green, mine is black.
There it is.
Say that again?
Beside that, there is a green field. I think that's the battery. I have a battery, but mine is black, not green.
Okay, that's all right. What's the rest of it?
It has 2 bars. It has a full fan and the battery. And the
Okay, all right.
somebody called and I just put him off.
I'm not sure why you're getting that message then.
No. Well, let's see.
Bill, it's Jean.
Yes, Gene, go ahead.
I mean, a question to ask maybe because it's happened to me, not us, but a similar situation is, has she turned her phone off in the last 2 weeks? I'm
Really?
just curious because it's helped me several times when things weren't working right.
What do you
Bell, did you
mean?
hear that? Have you turned
Yes.
your phone off in the last couple weeks?
Mm-mm.
Well, I turned it off and turned it on again to just to clean it.
Yes. Okay, you did that?
Yes.
Okay.
Underneath, there's a funny message. It says JAIAG.com. Does that mean anything?
Sounds like you're trying to go to a website that doesn't exist.
Yeah. I
All right.
don't. All right. Let's see.
I want to do one thing. Today we're going to talk about Safari and the various aspects of Safari. And the first question I have is kind of rhetorical, but hopefully most people know the difference. What is the difference between a browser and a search engine? Okay. We tend to use those items or those words interchangeably, and they are not. a browser is something that gives you access to the internet. It takes care of all the handshaking and details to allow you to get onto the internet. So let that sink in a minute. So there's a set of software that allows me to communicate on the internet so I don't have to program. And it's called a browser, giving you access to the internet. To make an analogy, how do you know when you pick up your phone, the old landlines, if you're actually hooked onto the landline or not? You get a dial tone.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So a browser is the dial tone. Does quite a bit more than a dial tone, but that's what it is. A search engine is a website on the internet. And there are, well, first of all, there are a bunch of browsers. Safari's one, Edge is one, Internet Explorer is one. There's a few more called DuckDuckGo. No, I'm sorry, don't get confused there. Safari, Edge, and Internet Explorer are the most well-known browsers.
I have Edge.
If I go to a website like google.com, I will get to the Google's search engine. If I go to yahoo.com, I'll get the Yahoo search engine. If I go to bing.com, I'll get the Microsoft search engine. And if I go to duckduckgo.com, I will get their search engine. Okay, so just keep that in mind and we'll cover it again. Now, I do want you to do one thing in settings before we get started, and that's set up which search engine your browser uses automatically. So you go to the browser and you do something, and it will end up going to the search engine a lot of the time. And so if everybody would just go to settings on your device and find Safari. And
Open
once
it.
you have found Safari, you tap on it and it'll say Safari at the top, allow Safari to access preferred language and search. And where it says search engine, let's say you set yours up so it goes to Google.
Oh, I'm still looking for Safari. So where did you find it? I'm in settings, and then where do you go?
Well, it's scroll down the list. Let's see. Scroll down the list. There's groups there, right? The group at the top has your name. The next group has airplane mode. The next group has notifications. The next group starts with general.
Mm-hmm.
And you have the Apple Store, and then you have a group that starts with passwords. And it's in that group, quite a ways, about in the middle of that group. It's a big group.
Okay. Thank you.
Uh-huh. And then it says search engine. And if you tap that, it would say, well, you could use the Bing, the Yahoo, the DuckDuckGo. And I have never used the last one there. I'm not sure about it. Okay, so I have mine set for Google. And that's okay for this class. All right.
All I
Thank
have
you.
is Bing on my phone.
Say
Will
again.
it be the same on both the phone and the iPad?
Yes, it will.
but it's not on the computer. The computer is different.
I'm not going to the computer, right?
I know you aren't. I'm just making the statement.
What is preload top hit under search?
We're not going there right now.
Oh.
Discovering, and then we'll get back and we'll do more details on settings.
Bill, I thought you said that Internet Explorer was an Edge were search engines, but when
No.
you hit the search engine, you get Google, Yahoo, Bing, DuckDuckGo, and Escotia.
They're search engines. Internet Explorer,
Is it browser?
Internet Explorer, Edge, and Safari are all browsers. And Mozilla has one called Firefox. It's a browser as well.
Okay, the top says search engine, Google, Yahoo, Bing. What are they? Are they search engines? Or I'm still confused about search engines and browsers.
All right. So what was your question then?
Okay, I'm in Safari. I went over to Google, Yahoo, Bing, DuckDuckGo, and something else. What are those?
Those are search engines. Those are search engines.
Okay. I think I'm still confused about search engines and browsers.
I'll try to clear that up when I get to the next place.
Okay, fine, thank you.
So everybody back to your home screens. Back to your home screens and then touch or tap on the icon here. Look at my screen. That's the one you want to tap on. That's the Safari application.
Bill, my Safari application has disappeared. And the only way I get it is in the app library, and it is there, but it's not on my screen.
Yeah, I know.
How do you get it back on the screen?
If you go to your app library, we talked about that in a previous class, and you go there by shifting from right to left till you get something that comes up that says app library. Now, in my case, I happen to see Safari right here. If you can't see it in one of these folders, go ahead and tap App Library, and they're listed in alphabetical order now. And if you scroll down to the S's, now you don't have as many apps probably as I do. And there's Safari. So the question you're asking me,
I should get Safari to her screen.
the question you're asking me is, how do I get that on my home screen? So if I were Ann, I would put my finger on it right here. On my iPad, for example, I'm going to put my, oops, I didn't mean to open it. Let me go back. You press your finger on it and hold it for a minute, and then you can move it. See, I moved it right off. Then I can move it to any one of the screens I want by moving it this way. And I'll put it right beside the one I have here. There. On my iPhone, I would do the same thing. I would press on it and then start moving it around a little bit, and it shows up on my screens. And now I've added it to my home screen. And you can put it there multiple times. So, okay.
I can't seem to do that. On my cell phone.
You can't seem to find it, or you can't seem to
No, I
do
see
what?
the Safari under Siri suggestions. Is that not where you want me to be? I see the
How did you
icon.
get- How did you get to Siri suggestions?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
Not sure where you are.
But I have Safari in settings, and then it says
No, don't-
Siri.
don't.
No,
I need
No.
you to get out of settings and go back to your home screen.
okay, I'm at the home screen.
And do you see Safari there?
No, that's the problem. I don't know why, but I don't see it anywhere.
Okay. The other way you can find an application that you can search for an application you can't find is to put your finger on the middle of the screen.
On the cell
Let me
phone.
do it. Okay, do it on my cell phone then. Put it in the middle. You're on your home screen. You put your finger in the middle and you flick down. So I put my finger right here and I pull down. Ah.
And then the Siri suggestion.
Hold on, stop. And then I flick down and I get a screen that looks like this.
Yeah, and mine is the Siri suggestions, and I see the Safari, but how do I get it to stay on my?
If I type in Safari, SAF, there's Safari.
Yep,
And you can tap that to have it do something.
yep.
You can also put your finger on it and move it around and put it on your home screen.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay? So everybody's on their home screen now, and now open Safari. Now it's slightly different on your iPad and iPhone, so I'll go over the iPad first and then the iPhone.
How's she feeling today?
I didn't hear you. Okay. On your iPad, the top area is occupied by a bunch of symbols and stuff. The center one, which is I'm covering right now, is called the address search bar. That will become very important in a minute. It's probably the most important part of Safari is that address search bar. On your iPhone, on the other hand, it could be at the bottom or the top, depending on some settings. I have mine set to be on the bottom. This is the bar that has the 2 A's at the beginning and the little refresh symbol on the right.
Got an online class though.
I didn't understand you. I'm getting, some people are speaking and not part of the question. I'm going to mute everyone, and if you want to speak, go ahead and unmute yourselves, okay?
What
Now,
does the AA stand for?
the who?
On the search
We'll get-
bar, what does
We'll
the
get to that.
A?
We'll get to that in a minute. I don't
Thank
wanna-
you.
Okay. Anybody know what this arrow does? And that's on the iPhone, here's on the iPad. What does that arrow do? It takes me back to the previous place I was on the internet. This arrow takes me forward If I've gone someplace, right now I'm on Maple Tree, and if I hit the back arrow, if I tap the back arrow, takes me back to Google. If I hit the forward arrow, it takes me to Maple Tree. If I hit it one more time, it takes me to plantingtree.com. And then I can hit the back arrow and it takes me back and back. Okay. It's the same on the iPhone. That back arrow takes you back. Forward arrow takes you forward. And
Yes,
when it's grayed
question,
out, you can't go forward anymore.
question.
Uh-huh.
iPhone has no back arrows, has no arrows on it.
At the bottom or top,
Top search bar just has the AA, but it doesn't, and the Maple Tree that I'm looking at, and
okay,
it
how
does,
about
but it has no back
at-
arrows.
at the bottom are there forward and back arrows?
The bottom,
No. They could be grayed out, but you should have the forward and back arrow at the bottom then. No,
no,
I can't hear you. Okay. Let's just stop right there for a minute. And you see the top line where I was talking about the search bar? Could be at the top or bottom of your phone. If you tap it, it should highlight. And a keyboard should show up. What I would like you to do, if that keyboard, when the keyboard shows up, is type in BING.COM. You're telling your phone to go to a specific website that you know is Bing.com. And then you tap go. I'll do it on my iPad, BING.COM. Now remember, I told you earlier that search engines are websites. The website for Bing or Microsoft search engine is Bing.com, and then you press, and it takes you to Bing.com.
what did you press? Did you press the bar, the search bar, or did you press? I have two search bars in this. No, I don't. Just one search bar. But there's another bar below it that says www.bing.com. Both iPad and iPhone.
The bar I'm talking about is the one with the AAs on it.
I presume that always an AA on the Bing on the search bar, but in my case, it's not.
You don't have a search bar with AA on it anywhere?
Nope, nope, neither one of them. Either phone or iPad.
You don't have an AA on the bar on the top of your iPad?
No, I do not.
Are you using Safari or some other browser?
I'm on Safari, it says.
Where does it say Safari?
In the panel to the left of the body of the document. Side panel, like that, like what you just showed on my iPad.
And you don't have a bar at the top of the screen?
I do have the bar at the top of the screen. Right now it has an AA on it, but when I went to do the thing where you went to Bing, it did not.
Okay, so now you have the AA there. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And hit that. Now, is the AA still there?
Yes.
Okay. Now, what if you wanted to go to a different website? If you tap that bar up there and you type in, let's go to yahoo.com, yahoo.com. Press the return key and it takes you to yahoo.com.
I found the answer to my question of why I didn't have the IIAA. When you type,
Okay.
when you have the keyboard down there and you type what you're typing, there's a little word block on the side that's highlighted and says go. And if you touch that, you will get the screen you're asking for with the AA in the search engine.
Right. Okay. If I do it on my iPad or iPhone, I type in oh, I see where you were. And I tap go, I end up on the Yahoo website. And I'd like everybody to tap there and go to llbean.com. Just type up there and go to llbean.com. And then tap the go. I see where you were. Okay, so if I tap Yahoo, it comes up and the keyboard's there. LL, no space, BEAN.com and tap go. And you'll notice how that address bar changes to the place you're at. It would be like calling somebody on your phone and the phone number appearing on the face of the display on the phone. This is who you've called on the internet. And everybody in New York needs one of those down jackets. So far, so good, everybody? Say again, please.
Lady in New York may need the jacket.
That's what I was thinking.
I'm not getting any pictures like you have. I just have, well, it just says shopping news images.
Does it say LL Bean on this bar, Ann?
Right now it says google.com, but I'm in
There
the
you go.
llbean.com. I
You
need-
type in, if you type it in correctly, llbean.com, and then press go, it should come to this website. No spaces.
Okay, it's covered by getting 10% off my first order.
I get 15.
Oh my gosh, you must have been shopping there longer than I have.
One says free shipping with $50 purchase. Okay. And go ahead and click the X and something shows up, right?
I don't get the same
No.
screen that you do. I don't get the same picture of what's happening with LL Bean that you
That's
do.
okay. They do have different pictures, I think.
Okay, thank,
Now, so that's how the address portion of the address search bar works. What if you type in something that is not, I repeat, is not the address of a particular website? For example, if I type in LL space BEAN and I press return, it goes to, in my case, Google, and turns LLbean space .bean over to the Google search engine. So I went to the Google site, it plugged in LLbean in its search engine bar, and it shows me different sites that have mentions of LLbean in them. If I tap up there and say, when was Abe Lincoln born? Now, it gave me the results of that right away, right? But if I press enter, once I've put in that particular phrase, up pops the answer, but I'm at Google. So if you do not put in a valid website, it turns whatever you've typed in over to Google and get a lot of different information about Abe Lincoln. Everybody try that? It makes sense. If I do it on my iPhone and I say, oh, let me try one, JFK, and tap go, gives me a whole lot of websites that mention JFK in some way.
Bill, how do I get out of the, how did you get away from the website? I can't
you were
find
on?
anything.
Do you have
I'm on
the
the one
address?
where the two people are walking and I can't get rid of it. How do I get rid of it to get to where you are?
Okay, you have the two people walking. Is there an address search bar on your screen somewhere? With the two A's?
Oh, yes, I
leading it?
pull down and I get the AA again.
Tap there and type in something different.
Okay, thank you. I had to pull down to do that.
Okay. Yeah, if you start looking through the website on your phone, that address search bar disappears. And so you have to, is it pull down or pull up to get to it?
I had to pull down.
Yep, I see that. So did I. The reason in spending some time here is I need you to understand where you are and how you got there, right? In this case, I'm at Google, right? And I typed in the line, was Abe Lincoln born, or JFK? And it did a search. So what if you tap up there and you type in Google? If you tap the address search bar and type in google.com, it's going to take you to Google. So you, instead of it doing it automatically for you, you just said, I want to go to Google.
When I got to Google, I have a note on there in a oblong block that says Google recommends using Chrome.
And don't go there.
switch your-
X
Do
that
that.
out, always.
Bill, this is
Chrome.
Andy. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Okay, I've just unmuted you. I didn't realize I had you on mute. Is it the same thing when you were showing, just typing in the Lincoln's birth date, the previous screen? Because I've always I've typed in google.com, and then whenever I'm looking up, I type it in on the screen that you've got now. Is it, which is always one extra step by
That's
typing
correct.
in google.com. Is it the same thing? Have I done
Yeah.
it the previous time as to this?
now, if I type in on the top bar, you see where it says Google search up there now?
Yes,
That's because in settings, we said we wanted to use the Google search engine.
yes.
If we would have said we wanted to use the Yahoo search engine, it would say Yahoo.
But I've got everything on Google. And so I'm asking to save a step of not typing in google.com before I type in my question or piece of information
that's
I'm looking
correct.
at. Can I just do it
Mhm.
at the top?
Yes, let me show you what I
Okay.
mean. I'm going to change my search engine to Bing. And now if I type in up there, you see how it says Bing right below what I'm typing?
Yep, yes.
And now it takes me to the Bing search engine versus the Google one.
But irrespective of Bing or Google, if I type it in across the top, it'll bring up the answer, no matter whether it's Bing or Google.
Whichever search engine
Yeah.
I decide to use,
Yeah,
yes.
I'm just trying to cut out that step of always typing in google.com and then typing in where is Abe Lincoln born. That's 2 steps. Whereas here, if I just type it across the top in the address line, then it eliminates that that extra step. Okay, thank you.
That's right.
Wouldn't it mean she already has a search engine up?
If you already have it up, go ahead and use the search engine search bar. In other words, if I had Google up, I'd just go ahead and use the bar.
Bill, what's the difference between Google and Google Chrome?
Google Chrome is the browser for Google.
So you're better off using just Google.
I think browser uses too much real estate
Okay,
in terms of
I know what you mean. Yeah.
processing and I just,
Found this on the web.
okay.
Yes.
Are we with me so far?
Yes.
Now, I'm going to go to that maple tree place again. Right? So I did a search for maple trees. And I come down here and I'm going to go to, oh, there's one, Wikipedia maple. I'm going to tap that. And I have this big long diatribe here about maple trees. See it?
Yes.
And if I tap the AA there and I say show reader, oops, wrong one. And I say show reader, it changes the display, gets rid of a lot of commercials and things, and just shows you the pages that you want to look at.
Mm.
All right,
What did you tap on again?
the two A's.
Oh, okay, hide reader.
Would you do that on the iPhone, please?
Same thing. Let me do it again because it's a good workout for me. A true maple tree over here. And I go ahead and search for it. I'm going to scroll down to a particular website. There it is, Wikipedia's website. You where it says Wikipedia on my phone? I tap that.
No, I don't see where it says that.
Did you type in maple tree?
Yes, I did. I've got thousands.
You just have to go down a long way.
Well, sometimes you have to. If you typed in maple tree, it says maple tree, shop maple tree at the top, of course. But then you scroll down a bit. And there's a website called Wikipedia. There's one called Encyclopedia Britannica. There's one called 8 Billion Trees.
Better Homes and Gardens.
Japanese. Say again.
I have Better Homes and Gardens on mine, as well as Maple Tree, Wikipedia.
I'm
Yeah.
still scrolling down and I'm still scrolling down and I don't see anything that says Wikipedia.
Well, I want to know, first of all, what's it say in the search engine? What's it say on the search line? And
I'm sorry, maple trees. I forgot to.
with a
hold it.
magnifying glass on it?
Oh.
Yes.
No, there's a strange thing on it. Before my picture, this blue and red. It looks like a, I don't know,
It's like a
microphone,
camera.
like a microphone.
Right, that's on the right.
Uh-huh. That's, and then just maple trees on the top. Boy, do I
Okay.
have maple trees.
And mine, does it say shop maple tree at the clear top?
Wait a second, let me go back to the clear top. I mean, gosh, building more maple trees than you can
I
believe.
wonder if she's typing maple tree on the bar with the AA.
That's okay, either way would work.
Yeah, I did that. Okay, I'm finally to the top and it says images, videos, news, Japanese red, that kind of thing.
But does it say?
It does not
shop
say
maple
shop, no. It
under
says
sponsored?
images, videos, news.
You're looking at my iPhone?
I'm looking at yours and mine and it's not the same.
What does yours say different at the top?
Mine says maple trees at the top, but it has a big G in front of it for Google.
She's saying
And this-
trees, not tree.
Yeah, you said trees.
Correct.
T-R-E-S.
Was that, should I say just one tree?
Probably. Let's see what happens if I change mine to S. Still should say it right. Who knows? The idea here is I'm trying to get you to a website, any old website, where it's listing the information. And then you turn it into a reader view by tapping the two A's. And now it looks a little bit more like a book page when you're reading it.
I know you're not dealing with computers, but could you do that on a computer?
A Mac or a PC?
PC?
I think so, but I don't know how at this point.
I'll check it out later.
Bill, can I ask you on your right-hand screen where after you've tapped the AA, yours shows show reader. Oh, can you put it back up, please?
Yeah, I'm
I'm
show reader.
asking, yeah, when I'm looking at mine, you've got several more categories in that smaller box. But the one I'm asking about is translate to Korean. I'd be interested in translate to not Korean, but to Latvian. How did you get that? Because there are several things there that are not showing on mine, but how did you get that translate to another language?
I have the app called Translate from Apple,
Okay,
and the language I've specified in there is Korean.
okay. So if I went into the apps and got, I assume, an app that said translate, it would therefore also show up when I tap this AA?
There's about 25 or 30 different Translate apps, and you have to get one that looks like that.
What's that, an A and a what?
I don't know, a little
A and a
interesting
black key.
symbol there.
Okay, all right.
There's a star inside the blue.
Inside the dark part? Okay, I can't see
Yes.
that
Yes.
detail. Thank you. So it's A and a blue thing. All right.
Yeah, give that
But
a
you've
try,
got
but there's a
many more
lot of them.
categories.
Okay,
You've got more categories showing here than I do on mine.
right. I have a lot more things going on.
Okay.
Okay, everybody? So that's
Is that
one of the
is that the
purposes.
same on the iPhone?
What, the AA?
All
Yes.
those things coming up, yes.
Again, you may not have the same ones. But for example, if you tap the AA and you want to make your text bigger or smaller, you would go to the smaller one or the larger one. So if I want to make larger text or smaller text, I tap the A's.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah, interesting. Okay. Uh-huh.
next question I have for everybody is we're still on this little bar up here. See the little arrow that goes circular to the right? And I don't see it
Yes.
on the, I don't necessarily see it on the,
I don't have any of either of those.
Today, I'm actually having what you have on my screens.
I always wondered what they
no.
did with the refresh symbol on the iPad, on the iPhone. And I don't see it anywhere. Hmm.
My,
Yeah.
you're looking, I have an
The re-
iPhone that the screen where the search bar is and the two arrows that you have them on the search bar on your iPhone. I'm looking on my iPhone. The search
Mhm.
bar, the two arrows and the thing that, some other symbols are at the bottom. So in other words, my search engine screen is split. search bar is split, top and bottom.
I understand. If you have Google up right now, that's why it's that way. If you go to a website,
On maple trees.
it doesn't show. It's just a search bar at the bottom.
Yes, you're right. That's exactly what mine shows.
Okay. Now, what does the refresh symbol do? Right now, if somebody changed this website, it would not change on my device. If I'm looking at stock market prices, they would not change on my device, even though the stock market continuously changes. So I would click the refresh to go back up and get a fresh information from the cloud, from that website.
Is there a refresh on the phone as well?
Couldn't, well, there it is. Yeah, I went to a website. I went to a website other than Google, and there it is. So I'm at wikipedia.org. And if I click that website, that arrow, right, it will go to wikipedia.org and reload the information it got from there.
It's the symbol for refresh. Is it that the circle with the arrow? And then
It's the
Circle the
circular
arrow.
arrow, right, that goes clockwise.
Oh, Bill?
So far, so good, everyone?
May I ask a question?
Go.
On my iPhone, when I click on the AA, it comes up with those lists, but the show reader is not selectable. Why is that?
What website are you on?
Maple Trees.
You're on the same one I am,
I think so.
but you don't have the double A's.
I do have
Some
the
websites
double A.
don't have a reader view.
I do have the double A's and it does show up. I click on it and show reader is there, but it's not selectable. And the other items that are there are selectable.
Yeah, mine isn't either. For
Yours
this
is not.
particular website on my, I'm on Google.
Yes.
Google doesn't have a reader view, but if I go down to Wikipedia and I tap it, and there's show reader view. All right. So if you were on Google, it wouldn't. If you're on okay, they look pretty much the same now.
So I've
on
got
the
it.
other one, besides the reader view, I also have talk.
You also have what?
TALK, talk.
Oh, we're getting sophisticated here. Where's mine? It says I have mine for translate, but not talk. So you must have a speak option turned on somewhere.
It didn't talk to any me. It changed the what it called talk maple.
Oop.
Bill, I never found Wikipedia. Is it necessarily on the Maple website?
I'm not sure why, Ann. If you just tap the top bar again, are you on your iPhone or iPad?
iPhone.
Okay. Tap the bar and type in. You see how mine's highlighted in blue? Yes.
Right now, mine says Maple Trees, so I guess I have to
Now,
go back.
is it highlighted in blue, dear? Yes.
No, is what highlighted in blue? I don't have that page yet. I have
I understand. The address bar, I want you to tap the address bar.
okay.
Now it keyboard showed up?
No, it says search or type URL.
But the keyboard's not there?
The keyboard, I'm sorry, yes, the keyboard is there.
Now type in maple tree.
Okay,
And tap go.
Mm.
okay. Then it says
Does it
images.
say Google, does it say Google at the top of your screen?
No, but it does have the big G in front of maple tree.
No. It doesn't
Yes.
say Google at the top?
No, it does not say Google at the top. It says G, the big G, maple tree. So I'm in Google
How do you know you're in Google?
because of the big G. Wrong?
And do you have the same pictures I do? It says shop maple tree?
You know, at one point I saw Shop Maple Tree, but I don't see it now. I
Okay.
have sponsored.
Right, sponsored shop maple tree? No?
Well, it just says sponsored, and then there's all kinds of things I could buy
Okay.
for great prices.
That G should not be there.
Oh, boy. How do I get rid of the G?
Where does it say G, Ann?
On the search bar, it says G Maple Tree at the very
So
top.
tap the search bar,
Okay.
delete what's there,
Delete or,
backspace.
okay. Now it says G Maple Bar again. I mean, Maple Tree. Because that's where it came from. Yeah, so it says G Maple Tree again.
No, it shouldn't say anything. It should be blank.
It's not blank. If I click it, it goes to Google search.
Go
Now I've
ahead,
got
go to
Google at the top with a search bar underneath it. And
Okay,
I
now,
have your little camera thing on the right. Plus I have something that looks like a microphone to the left of it.
so your screen does not look like mine.
No. But it does have a search bar there.
Are you in Safari or are you in someplace else?
Well, I thought I was in Safari.
Go back
How
to
would I know?
home. Go back to the home screen.
Okay. I'm clicking
And
home and nothing happens. And so I must be on the home screen, but I'm not on the home screen.
This, what's on my screen is my home screen.
$81. And a search bar on top underneath Google.
No,
But
no, we're getting out of the search entirely. We're going to your home screen.
I'm at the home screen. Click
Your
Safari.
home- Pardon me?
You want me to click Safari?
If you're on the home screen, yeah.
Okay, I click Safari.
Tap Safari. And what comes up?
Call Bill Crow. And it says message.
That shouldn't come up when you tap Safari.
It did. Yes, the top of the screen, it says call Bill Crow. And then
Isn't
You tap
technology
this little guy
wonderful?
here. Did you tap this one? The one I'm circling? No, yes.
oh, I'm sorry. Yes, I did. I absolutely did. From my home screen.
Well, flick that Call Bill Crow out of the way.
Well, and now I've got google.com up there.
Okay.
Double A's and the google.com.
Type in maple tree. MAPLE. Tree.
Okay, it says Maple Tree Investments. I typed in Maple Tree. And underneath it, it says Maple Tree Invest. 10th Way, Sarasota, call or go. I mean, this is crazy. It no longer says Google at the top. Okay. Now I just typed in or pressed Maple Tree, and I'm now with sign in to Google.
No,
It kind of looks like your screen. Yeah, this is exactly my screen on the top down to lower classifications looks just like, well, Shop Maple Trees is also under there. Oh, and then it wants me to sign into Google.
we'll get rid of that screen. We don't,
How do I get rid of that? I have the same thing on the top you had, but then, and then it says Shop Google Tree, and then there's a line, and then there's the Google symbol, and it says sign into Google with one more sign in.
that
Should I
should not
do
be
that?
necessary.
No, say, otherwise it says stay signed out. So I've got to
I
sign
would,
in.
I would recommend you restart your device. Power down, power back up. All right, let me keep going while she's doing that. And let's talk about the next really interesting thing here. So you can go to various websites by typing in that bar. If I wanted to save, let's say I'm just infatuated by maple trees. I'm on this maple tree site from Wikipedia, and I wanted to be able to get back to it at some time in the future without going through all this work. You see the little box with the arrow coming out? And everybody should write this down. That's called the share box. Draw a little picture of a box and an arrow coming out the top. If you tap that, it comes down with a bunch of choices. And you can always click on Add Bookmark. You could also click on Add Reader List. If you wanted to get the reader view of this and you want to just read it, sometime in the future when you're offline, when you're not on the internet, you could add it to your reader list. I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to also bookmark it. When I click bookmark, it says you want to put it in your favorites library. If you didn't want to put it in favorites, you could put it in just bookmarks. So I'm going to just put it in bookmarks. And then I click save.
What if you don't have a choice?
Between what and what?
On the iScreen, on the iPad, when I pressed favorites, it didn't give me any choice.
It's put it in that folder. So it automatically puts it in your favorites folder. And we'll show you how to get there in a little bit.
And when I hit favorites, I got bookmarks and new folders.
When you hit favorites, you want to change it, so you could change it to something else. So right now mine says bookmarks. If I click where it says bookmarks, it says I could put it in all these other folders I've created in history. Okay. I chose to just put it in the bookmarks folder itself. Okay.
Put it in the favorites on the phone, and I get the request for cancels or save on the top line.
So I want to put it on the phone. I tap that. I scroll down and I can add to reader list or add to bookmarks. So I'm going to add to bookmarks. It says favorites. No, I don't want to put it in favorites. I want to put it in I'll put it in car. Okay, and save it. So I've saved it in car on my iPad.
But you're just working on your
iPhone.
iPhone.
All right, now if I'd like to see where I put it, we would click the little icon on the left on your iPad. And you could go to bookmarks. And there's favorites. And then if I scroll down here, I got all these subcategories. There's car, and there's maple tree in car. If I scroll, and if I just tap on bookmarks here at the top somewhere, there it is. Was it the bookmarks bar? No.
If it happens to be the only thing you've saved and it's in there, it will just come up when you hit that bookmark thing.
It will show you that that's the website. Here it is. I put it in bookmarks twice. Maple tree, Wikipedia, maple tree, Wikipedia.
My article came up when I hit the
Well, that's the
bookmark.
only thing. You only have one in there.
Okay, thank you. That's what
There it is. Here's Library of Congress. So here's are all different websites that I've chosen to put out here, right? And there's a group of websites that I put together for the iPad. Okay. Any questions on that? Really? Okay. Now, everybody remembers probably back when we used to have phones on our desks at work, and many of us had a phone that had multiple phone numbers on it. And you could be getting calls from multiple people. So you had a button at the bottom you could push to talk to on that line versus the other button would talk on the other line. And you could have multiple people there at one time. And the buttons would be blinking. You still got a call from Margaret. And in comes a call from somebody else. You say, Margaret, just a minute. And you answer the phone for that other person. And now the one for Margaret is blinking, telling you there's somebody on hold there. Well, there's something similar to that on your iPad and iPhone. And the number of lines that are blinking are what's these two squares that are overlapping one another on my iPad. The same on my iPhone here in the lower part. If I tap that, it shows me the different people I'm talking to at once. And on my iPad, I only have one. On my iPhone, I have 5. Now, some of you may have 10, 20, 30, 500 there.
I have lost where you are.
Okay, I'm looking at Safari.
Okay.
And on the Safari screen, there are these two overlapping squares.
Okay, somehow I need to get back to where Safari is. I'm still in Bing for whatever reason.
Well, Bing's fine.
Oh,
No matter where you are, you're in Safari, and in Safari, you went to bing.com. But you should have those two little squares. and you need sometimes on your phone,
Oh, okay.
they disappear. And you have to pull down for them to show up. So
Mine are on the bottom, which is why I didn't see. Oh, you have your stuff on the bottom too. Okay.
yeah.
Bill, excuse me,
On
Bill,
my iPhone,
Bill,
as you start what they've done, and that's
Bill.
what's a little confusing to many of us.
Excuse me,
When you
Bill.
start viewing a website, those lines at the bottom are taken away just to give you more space to read what you want to read on the particular website you're on.
Bill, you have a question from, I think, Diane. Is that?
Yes, thank you. Yes, for some reason, I don't have the squares on my iPad. I have them on my iPhone, but not on my iPad.
You have them on your iPhone, but not your iPad?
Yeah, that's correct. Now, my iPad is an iOS 15.7, but I should have
Those little
had
squares have been there
15.7
for
as
years.
well. What?
Those little squares have been there for years.
That's right. But they left me.
They didn't, let me finish something, Diane.
Okay,
Everybody look at my iPhone there and you'll see the squares are not there. But if I pull down, the squares show up. Now, Diane, you're saying you don't have them at the top of your screen?
no, instead what I have is I have like 4 squares next to each other. I have the 2 squares on top and 2 squares on the bottom.
You have, I'm talking about my iPad and we're looking at Safari, is that correct?
That's correct. And next to the plus sign, instead of those 2 squares, the way you have them, I have what looks like 2 small squares on top and 2 small squares right underneath them.
I also have them. I know what she's talking about.
You have them
Like-
too?
Do you have something like that on your screen?
Like when you pull down on it? Hold on a
No,
second.
no. Could be to do with what website you're on. I'm not sure.
I'm on the trees. I'm on fast growing trees.
You're back on trees. Let me go back to trees here. There's trees.
Oh, okay, I'll go to your website. It shouldn't matter. What do you want, maple tree?
Yeah.
Maple tree. So, okay, I've got the same 4 squares. 4 little squares. That's weird.
And yours does not look like mine.
No, no. I mean, I have it on my iPhone like yours, and I used to have it at one point. When I press them, when I press those 4 squares, it shows me the 4 tabs. But I don't know why
Yeah,
it's
well,
showing these 4
I'm not sure
squares.
where you get 4 squares.
Where are those two? Where
Are you
have
seeing
them.
double? I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I have a screen that has the 4 squares on it. And when I press the 4 squares, it shows me what apps are open.
Correct.
Correct. Let me add some more tabs here just to see what happens. I only have those 2 square. I have never seen 4 squares there.
Screen is the screen that I have them on at the search engine search box. It says has a
It's not the search.
spying glass, excuse me. and search or enter website dot name and then a speaker. Then underneath that is a list of things for which I have searched.
Well,
And then a list, then it shows the different kinds of,
you could have this comes up. If you press and hold that box. Let me keep going. As long as you have those two up there, if you tap on that, it gives you a list of the websites that you're currently talking to. So I'm talking to 5 of them on my iPad and 5 of them here on my iPhone. Does anybody have over 20? You're not going to admit it. I've had somebody have 500. It said 500 tabs.
Yeah, slow down.
I could have quite a number, but I know I cleaned them off before. Middle
Now
of the
you
week.
can tap the X to close them. So I'm going to close that one on the iPad here by tapping the X. So that particular tab disappears. If you wanted to get rid of all of them at once, you could click the top. Well, I'll get to that. You can start a new private tab. And this one's one where it requests all the websites you visit not to track you.
Excuse me, Bill, how did you get tab groups up on top? I don't see the 4 tabs that you have.
I tapped the 4, the 2,
Yeah, right, okay,
double boxes,
yeah.
and it should come up like this.
No, my open tabs came up, but it doesn't say 4 tabs to the, or whatever tabs to the left of my plus sign. Maybe that has to do with iOS 16, I don't know.
What do you have?
I have 15.7. Remember, I have an iPad Air too.
That's what I'm looking at.
You're looking at your Air too? I think your iPad is can you update to 16 on your iPad?
Yes, I can.
Well, then you have a later one than I do.
Okay, there might be something to do with that.
Well, let's say I've got a recent iPhone. So, yeah.
Okay,
So when it says, when you have 5 tabs, how do you get rid of the 5 tabs?
you want to get rid of them all at once instead of one at a time?
Doesn't make any difference as long as I can get rid
Well,
of
it
them.
does if you have 500.
Oh, okay.
If you click the X's here, it will delete or close that particular website you're talking to.
Oh, okay, fine. 1.
If you tap done, and you're looking at the one, and you're looking at the box, the 2 boxes, if you press and hold those boxes, it comes down and says, close all the tabs at one time.
Okay. Whoop.
41 tabs, by the way.
Say again, please.
I had 41 tabs and I'm about to close all of them.
There you go.
Okay.
The reason you want to, the
I've
reason you want, go ahead.
I've closed the 4 tabs and now I have something on my screen that says favorites.
Yes.
So what are these?
What you've done, see what's on mine, favorites?
Uh-huh.
They're special bookmarks. And what I did was when I was at a site I liked, I tapped let's go to one here. I'm going to go to my Maple Tree site. And I'm going to, there it comes up Google. I go down here to Wikipedia. And now I'm at my favorite tree site. And I would like to save that as a favorite. So I tap the share box and I come down and it says add to favorites. And save it. So now if I close that website, I get all my favorites here. And at the bottom, there's my Wikipedia website that I just talked about.
Now, I don't know how I got my favorites there in the first place.
That's okay. If you wanted to get rid of them, you can press and hold any one of them. So if I wanted to get rid of golf lessons here, I press and hold it and then delete it.
Okay, all right, well, thank you. There are new things every week, thank you.
Every week there's something.
Lots of things, yes.
All right, so we've covered tabs. If I want to add, well, let me pick a site here. I'm going to go to Sarasota Technology Users Group. That was easy because I had been there someplace time in the past and I decided to mark it as a favorite. And then if I add a new tab, it comes up with all those. Do you want to select another one of your favorites? Yeah, I want to check speed test. And that checks the speed of my internet connection. I'll click add another one, and I want to, instead of using the Google search engine, I'm going to use the DuckDuckGo search engine. And if I add another one, get the idea, everybody?
If you have several several tabs on a square, you click on the square and then you can delete them individually.
Yep. And there's the X's. You can delete them.
Okay, thank you. Now, if I can just figure out how they got there.
By hitting the plus sign, you can add another one. I'm going to add Amazon.
What are you adding it?
Say again?
To what are you adding those favorites?
No, I'm using the favorites I created. If I want to add one to my favorites, right? So if I had typed in and gone to Amazon.com, I would use the share box and say add to favorites.
Now, where do you find the favorites in the first place?
You don't, if you don't have any to start with.
All right, now that I have them, how do I find them?
Hit the plus sign.
Okay,
There's one easy way,
all right,
and it will list them there.
okay.
Another way, you see the line right here? These are all my favorites. It's called the favorites bar. And to get the favorites on the favorites bar, if you want it, so everybody do this, go back to your home screen by pressing the home button or flicking up on your iPad or iPhone. Go to settings and Safari. Oh, it's not available on your iPhone. Take that back. Go to settings on your iPad and Safari. And there's a line item there to Show
Okay.
favorites bar. And you just turn that on. Press the home button,
Could you do that again, please?
settings on the iPad, Safari,
Okay.
scroll down to the general group, and it says show favorites bar.
On the iPhone too?
No, it doesn't work on the iPhone.
Can you show on the iPhone, please?
I said it does not work on the
Oh,
iPhone.
meaning you can't do it. Okay,
Yes.
thank you.
And what is it going to show you when you do that?
I go back to Safari. You're looking at the screen. See all this line here? That's what I added. And it matches the favorites down here. So if I am on a website, I can change the website I'm on by clicking one of these, and it will take me directly there. It'll switch the tab. The tab I'm currently on is called Speed Test. I'm going to switch it to YouTube by clicking one of the favorites. Now I'm on YouTube. It says youtube.com. Or if I wanted to switch, hang up on YouTube and call Stug, I can click there. Ooh, that's Google Drive. I'm sorry. There, Sectology User Group. Okay.
What did you do when you went to the settings page from the home page and you said to go down to Safari? What
Correct.
were you to do at it? When you get to that point, what do you?
So I went to Settings and Safari. And now I'm looking at the Safari settings on the right of my iPad. And there's a group there. First group is allow Safari to access preferred language, search, general. And in the general grouping, there's something called show favorites bar. And I just made that green.
So show favorites bar and is one selection, and then favorites
it.
is the other selection,
No,
which you
no,
don't do anything with.
that's correct. Not here.
Thank you.
Where do, what's the other one from favorites and bookmarks? What are bookmarks?
Okay. So favorites just are addresses of websites I can go to instantly. Favorites is a subset of bookmarks. It's a special bookmark. Because it shows up when I want to add a new tab. All the favorites show up here. They show up on, if you have room, on this favorites bar below the address search bar. If I just have a normal bookmark, I would come over here on my iPad and click it, and it says bookmarks there. Same general definitions on my iPhone, except to get to the various ones, I hit the book, the open book here, and there's my favorites. I wanted to see my favorites. And here's the rest of my bookmarks.
Hey, Bill,
Yes, go
In
ahead.
that, in that book section, under bookmarks, when I tap mine, I have a category actually on top for favorites.
That's correct.
Right. So basically, right now, at least I'm counting 3 ways to get to favorites.
No, I didn't even count mine.
Yeah.
How did you get the
On your
bookmarks?
iPad, that's correct. On your
Yeah,
iPad, that's
yeah.
correct.
How did you get the bookmarks on the iPhone again, please?
Okay, I'm on Safari. And right down here is the thing for bookmarks. It looks like an open book. Do you have that icon? I'm not hearing a yay or nay.
I don't.
If you don't,
Yay. Yes.
I'm scrolling through a web page, and you'll notice I don't have that bottom line. It just tells me I'm on Maple Tree clear down there at the bottom. But if I scroll the other way, in other words, I go toward the top of the website, all of a sudden that bottom line appears. Okay? So why are dogs good dancers? Changing subjects. Why are dogs good dancers? I'm sorry, why aren't dogs good dancers? Because they have 2 left feet. What's a dog's favorite homework assignment? A lab report. What do you call a bear with no teeth? Oh, this one's good. This one's good. You ready for it?
Gummy bear.
A gummy bear. Okay, let's keep going here. We've covered the basics. And if you just got half of them, you're in good shape. If I'm back to my iPad now, and I'm just looking here, this is called the address search bar. And if I'm on a website, right, I clicked on Google and I went to Google. This is a website. Google is a website I went to that some guys in San Jose came up with in 1998, 94, something like that. Because people were having so much trouble typing in www:// all that stuff. And so they came up with the white pages for the internet. And that's what Google is, basically a white pages for the internet that it will search for you. And since then, other people have come up with websites that do similar kinds of things called Bing, Yahoo, DuckDuckGo. So if I click up here and I want to go to DuckDuckGo, I would say DuckDuckGo .com, and voila, I'm at the DuckDuckGo website. Okay, everybody? That's how that works.
Can you do it on the iPhone?
Same exact thing. I go to Safari, I get the address bar to show up. And I've got it at the bottom there. And I type in DUCKDCKGO.com. And I say go, and there I am at DuckDuckGo.
Bill,
Mhm.
I have a question. In the address bar, what does that little lock thing mean before the name that you just typed in? I noticed that it was on all the names you typed in. What does that lock mean?
It's a secure site. It's not special designated as a secure site. Like, I don't even know if I can get to an unsecured site. Let me do a stuff search. And let me go down here. More results. More results. More results. Nope, that one's even secure.
Okay, yep, I understand. Thank you.
Yeah, well, I was saying if I could get the one that wasn't secure. They're usually deep down in here.
Bill, one of the sites that I use is not secure. It's everyone.com. This is Joan. Because it tells me it's not secure. Every, EV, yep. You've got an R there.
Yeah. Yep.
There.
Bill, with
It's
three
not
or four
recommended. It's
browsers,
not
three
recommended
or
you
four
go to
searches.
those. It's not recommended you go to those sites.
Bill, would you explain what the little puzzle piece is in your address bar?
Those are
In front of the
extensions.
reload? It's what?
Those are extensions.
Okay, thank you.
I'm not going to have time to cover those. But
If you get your piece that you want, your information that you asked, how do you get out of it? At the
type
top
in a
of-
new address. Type in a new address at the top.
Thank
you. Go to a different bookmark.
Bill, with three or four search engines on my computer and three or four browsers, that creates a lot of combinations that you can use. How do you decide which combination of a search engine and a browser is best for you?
Okay. First of all, I always use Safari because it's an Apple product and it's an Apple device. So I always use that browser. For search engines, if I want to be very secure and personal, I go to DuckDuckGo. And you can get one called Brave, which is another search engine. I'm sorry. Brave is a browser.
Big difference.
So that's the combination. Otherwise, I go to Google. And I do want to mention one thing, since you mentioned that. They have this thing called, this is just a fun thing that everybody should know is coming. It's Chat GPT.
Oh.
Let's see if I get it here.
Is this the AI stuff that everybody is talking about?
Yes, it is.
Boringly, they can't get in it because it's too crowded or something like that?
Okay. It's the future of search engines. So right now, when you want to learn something, you would go to Google, Yahoo, Bing, DuckDuckGo to do some searching. This one takes that to a whole new level. It's actually a conversation you're having with this particular search engine. So if I type in, and this is one of the more powerful features, I want to give me a poem about Valentine. Watch. And this is an original poem that it created. I do a search. And it creates I don't know how many stanzas this is. So let's cherish this day with zeal and make our love feel what we truly feel. Happy Valentine's Day, my dear. May love bring us closer, ever so near.
Okay, Bill?
Yep.
Was that created when you asked for it, or was it already created and just gave you that?
When I ask for it. If
When
I
you
do it
ask for
again, it will give me a different poem.
Oh, that's, well,
Now, Bill, is this the same site where they do artwork, or is that some other site?
It's a subset of that. Okay.
Okay,
I don't particularly, right now, don't have access to that one. But you can say, give me a starry night by a different artist. And it will draw you Starry Night in that artist's style.
and my understanding is they went through everything on everything publicly and lifted people's styles, and the artists are enraged.
Exactly. So if I said Abe's birthday here, let's see what it does. Did I get anything? Yeah, it's looking.
Abe. You misspelled Abe.
I'm sorry, I'm not sure what you're asking for. So if I say Abe,
change that D. You need AB.
AB, ABE.
oh, not AD.
No.
I don't think that'll work.
That would be better.
Not that intelligent yet.
That probably would help. So here's a poem from Abe Lincoln. So I'm still doing poems.
Here's what I found.
So it continues the conversation you're having, doesn't, it's not a whole brand new one.
So, Bill, this is
Yeah.
how a college kid could get his term paper written, right?
Right. How about SUMMERIZE? Mhm.
What if I do it in the poem?
Here's my book report. Okay,
Can't you even do it on something like if you're in a sixth grade level, say the same thing, or a college, whatever, college graduate school level? Think you need to, okay, okay.
This is now included with the new update to the Bing browser from Microsoft.
well, this one's, I've actually gone to the OP site, so it's a little different. The problem with this for educators is just that. Oh, I got my book report.
And the professors tell it's written by GPT or not?
They're working on a way in which they can do that. You know, something like metadata or something that the instructor can check, see if it's been plagiarized.
Is this a sixth grade level?
I don't know, is it?
I would not think so.
This is the dumbing down of America.
But is it it's a different report than the first one.
No, sixth grader culminates, no.
Well, they're using first names at least.
I don't know what she does, what it does. Actually, China's coming up with some AIs like this, and they actually named them like Bud and Greg and whatever. So that's what's coming, folks, for their first future search engines. Six retired Irishmen were playing poker in O'Leary's basement when Patty Murphy loses $500 in a single hand, clutches his chest, drops dead on the table. Showing respect to their fallen brother, the other five continue playing, standing up. Michael O'Connor looks around and asks, "Oh, my boys, someone's got to tell Patty's wife. Who will it be?" They drew straws, and Paul Gallagher picks the short one. They tell him to be discreet, be gentle, and don't make bad situation worse. Discreet. I'm the most discreet Irishman you'll ever meet. Discreet is my middle name. Leave it to me. Gallagher goes over to Murphy's house, knocks on the door. Mrs. Murphy answers and asks, "What do you want?" Gallagher declares, "Your husband just lost $500 and is afraid to come home." "Tell him to drop dead," says Mrs. Murphy. "I'll tell him that," says Gallagher. All right. Any questions, anybody?
Get a new joke.
Yes, I have
All
a
right.
quick one. When I ask Siri a question, my responses are always in writing, never verbal. Is that typical?
If you go to settings and Siri, I think it's there. Let me, settings and Siri and search. Settings, Siri and search.
I'm there.
Siri responses. Prefer spoken responses.
Oh, okay.
And then always show Siri captions and always show speech. So you
Thank
get the
you.
transcription of the speech you're making and she's making.
Thank you. That fixes my issue.
Good. Any other questions?
What's on for next week?
What's on for next week? Let's see. Ooh. Oh, calendar and Siri is on for next week.
Comment about your question about Siri and whether it, what it does. I just looked on mine, on my iPhone, and I have a choice of always Siri, show Siri captions, always show speech,
Yep.
or spoken
Turn-
response.
Yeah, turn those
I have
both
to
on.
check.
I have both those on.
Okay, so you have to, you just said that she couldn't get any other way with, but verbally.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Have a great week, everybody.
Thank you, you too.
Practice using those search engines.
Thanks, Bill. It was great.
Thank you, Bill.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bill.
Thanks,
Take
Bill.
care.